This 17-year-old is tearing up the AAU scene, gaining thousands of followers, and is on track to play in the NBA. All with one arm. Do you know who the one-armed nightmare freight NBA prospect is? Well, he is none other than Hansel Emmanuel. You're watching Sportsman Pro, where we give you the best out of the sports world. Today, we will be delving into the inspirational story of Hansel Emmanuel, the one-armed kid, NBA player's fear. Hansel Emmanuel, a Dominican player who is only 17 years old, has set a goal of playing in the NBA through that online clips of him showcasing his talent have made him a viral sensation and caught the attention of the NCAA. His story began in one of the most dangerous slum areas in the Dominican Republic, Las Minas, Santo Domingo, where he was born in 2004. And as if life weren't already difficult enough, in 2009, when Hansel was only 6 years old, things took an unexpected turn in the wrong direction. He was playing outside one afternoon after school when he decided to climb an old, seemingly crumbling brick wall. Suddenly, the wall collapsed on his left arm, trapping him under for more than 2 hours. Hansel was unconscious and barely holding on to life when help could reach him. He was taken urgently to the nearby hospital, where medical professionals found that every nerve in his left arm had been destroyed, leaving them with no other choice but to amputate it. And Hansel woke up from surgery the very next day a completely different kid. One thing, however, persisted despite Hansel's new condition: his passion for basketball. The lone thing that gave Hansel joy was basketball. He found his purpose in it, and he developed a deep love for the game that led him to vow to himself that he would one day play in the NBA. But here lies the problem. The kid was awful at playing the sport, and he only had one arm. Everyone in Las Minas was doubting him, but that didn't discourage young Hansel. Instead, he began working on his craft day and night for more than 10 years in an effort to disprove the doubters. In 2019, 16-year-old Hansel began to dominate the streetball scene with step-back, threes, crossovers, and windmill dunks. This youngster had it all. But to truly pursue his goal, Hansel had to get their attention first if he wanted to make it to the NBA. And what better way to achieve that goal than by going viral? In order to gain influence and recognition, he did what any teenager would do. And in 2019, he made his first Instagram account. He started posting pictures of his workouts, game highlights, and even showing off his new Lewis belt. And in August 2019, all his efforts began to pay off as Hansel got his first post that went viral. After being shared by Overtime and Bleacher Report overnight, this video quickly became popular. The views on Hansel's highlights increased from hundreds to hundreds of thousands. He needed this in order to establish himself in the mainstream. Due to the overwhelming interest in Hansel's story in 2020, the Color Vision Network invited him for his first ever TV interview, in which he revealed to the world his aspirations of becoming an NBA player. And fortunately, one person was watching the show at that time that could help Hansel with his dream: Coach Moises Michel. Moises had been a close friend to Hansel's family for a long time, but more importantly, he had recently been hired to coach a high school basketball team in Florida. Moises reached out to him the following day, and Hansel was given the scholarship to play for the Life Christian Academy Lions. And with this, Hansel then proceeded to the Isabela International Airport to board his first flight to America. The opportunity here was the biggest of Hansel's life. He'd stand a real chance of making the NBA if he could win over American NBA prospects. But Hansel was confronted by a wall of doubt the moment he set foot in the United States. However, it was from his teammates this time. Apart from Coach Moises, no one recognized Hansel when he showed up for his first practice at Life Christian Academy in January 2021. He was simply perceived by his teammates as a young foreigner with only one arm. They overlooked Hansel because they believed he lacked the necessary skills to be a great basketball player. And initially, it appeared as though they were correct. When the team was practicing, players were required to perform push-ups if they missed a shot. The entire team believed Hansel was done for after missing his first layup, and that he would simply give up, leave the court, and go home. But instead, Hansel dropped to the floor and left everyone in that gym astounded and silenced those who had doubts. Because of these 20 push-ups, Hansel gained the respect of the entire Lions team, and from that point on, he not only became the center of attention at Life Christian Academy, but he also began to dominate the court. He led Life Christian Academy to a Florida State championship while averaging 26 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 blocks, and 3 steals per game. With this level of achievement, Hansel was able to secure himself an even better opportunity. He was signed to play for Sewa Elite, one of the top AAU teams in the nation, against NBA-caliber prospects. Officially, Hansel was one step closer to attaining his dream. Now it was make or break, because if he couldn't win on a national stage, people would assume he isn't talented enough, and he won't ever play in the NBA. Hansel thus arrived at his very first AAU game carrying the weight of the entire world. The pressure was on. And what did he then do? Well, Hansel led the SO Elite to a comeback victory in his first game by scoring 12 straight points in just 40 seconds. He once again proved himself and dominated the game. Following this, Hansel was unstoppable and performed at such a high level that a few months later he was chosen to play in the AAU's All-Star Tournament, where the best high school basketball players compete for a national championship. At this point, Hansel began to gain popularity. Big deal mainstream such as ESPN articles, Wall's Life appearances, Shaquille O'Neal shoutouts, and his own documentary even aired during the halftime of the 2021 BA Finals. Hansel Emmanuel's name was being echoed across the world. But let's pause for a moment. Although Hansel is now well known, having millions of fans was never his primary objective. His dream was to play in the NBA, but a one-armed kid cannot accomplish such a goal as that. Or at least that's what Hansel was beginning to think. Despite the high school offer, the 8AU recruitment, and all of his popularity, he still needed a Division I college scholarship in order to pursue his basketball career and make it to the NBA. Because scouts wouldn't ever consider him NBA material if he didn't compete against college competition. And while he looked around and witnessed other athletes across the nation finally receiving scholarship offers, Hansel had none, so it appeared as though his NBA aspirations were over. Until one day, things took a favorable turn. Hansel received a letter in the mail on August 12 of 2021, which would forever alter his life. He received his first Division I basketball scholarship offer from Tennessee State University, securing his place to compete at the NCAA's top level. And after receiving this Division I offer, Hansel was given another chance that would change his life, the chance to be in a one-on-one practice with none other than Kyrie Irving. All things considered, he is very well on his way to achieving his dreams ever since he was a young kid, becoming the first one-armed basketball player in NBA history. Hansel Emmanuel is truly one of a kind. He is a living example that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to and do things that the world says are impossible, regardless of who you are or what you're going through. His limitations pushed him to transcendence and put him where he belongs, inside the basketball court. But of course, we still have a lot left to see in Hansel, and he still has a lot to prove to the world because his journey to the NBA has just begun. What do you think of Hansel Emmanuel's story? Will he establish a lasting name for the world to remember? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Please like the video and subscribe to see more from us.